Fenlon, we meet again. And again. And again.
I grow tired of your visits, cat.
As do I, you slut.
You are a slut.
You're a slut.
You are the slut.
Cat, ready to dance.
I'm always ready.
Fenlongo, I've missed our chats.
Shut up and fight.
Welcome to the mother relay. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. Claressa Shields' first official comments following her ban from any future MVP events, saying, now to MVP, you tried to sign me. I declined. You can't ban me from a place I didn't want to be.
Oh, so you didn't want to be there on Saturday. You were forced to go. Is that it?
I can go fight anywhere in the world tomorrow, so anyone who thinks this weak-ass ban matters, it doesn't.
Okay, then do it.
Those false statements will be addressed too. Your fighter was threatening me, and then playing the victim, which is insane. MVP, y'all lying on me, and it's nothing new. Since you guys came out the gate, nothing but disrespect.
Oh, so we're to believe that it was Alicia running down on you, and not you running down on her at what was their event, that apparently you didn't want to be at, but you went anyway? Or was it that you were forced to go?
Since you guys came out the gate, nothing but disrespect, calling your fighters the real GWOAT.
Oh, what, they're not supposed to promote their fighters in the way they see fit? They're supposed to run it by you first? Check her out.
Overlooking my accomplishments, trying to erase my hard work in women's boxing, and constantly trying to assassinate my character with lies.
The only lie is that you didn't want to be there on Saturday, like you claim. So you didn't make a conscious decision to get up, get dressed, and go to this show of your own free will. You were forced to go. Is that what we're to believe?
Claiming that MVP can't ban her from a place where she didn't want to be. If you didn't want to be there, then what the fuck were you doing there?
You don't get along with most of those people.
And they actually can ban you from any of their future events, which I think they should have did a long time ago, since you've been taking shots at Jake Paul since before MVP was even formed. So why should they extend you any professional courtesies?
They shouldn't.
What she's really mad about is she doesn't get to crash their parties and siphon clout from their events. It's not a secret that 17 million people tuned in for what was their MMA show on Netflix, which is why Claressa made it a point to be there. Even though she doesn't get along with the MVP top brass, she doesn't get along with their fighters.
Then what the fuck are you doing here?
Saying, I've dedicated my life to the sport of boxing. Through the grace of God, I've been blessed. My talent has allowed me to undeniably take women's boxing to a new level that doesn't stop at the ring.
Pay attention to that part, because she's giving it away that what she wants to do is cross over into different spaces.
What circulated online does not tell the full story until now. I do not condone violence and never have.
Could have fooled me. The way your little brother punched an elderly man in the back of the head when he wasn't looking, and afterwards, you tried to take up for him.
She continued, but I am also not someone who will stand in silence while continuously being verbally attacked, threatened, discriminated against, or assassinating my character.
Discriminated against? Who's discriminating against you? The people who tried to sign you?
What people?
The people who you don't even like, but you decided to go to their show anyway.
I will not allow the reality of disrespect to turn into a narrative or talking point about colorism or envy.
But you are envious of Alicia, and it's very obvious from the moment that she stepped into the spotlight, you've been trying to occupy all the same spaces as her, to the point you're going to MVP shows and you don't even like MVP. She's become an expert at this, being the antagonist, inciting these incidents, then making herself out to be the victim afterwards.
Saying there is a documented history of attacks and threats by this person that led to this moment, and that history will speak for itself. There is a difference between aggression and protection.
Yeah, and there's a difference between challenging somebody to a boxing match and putting your hands on someone outside of the ring. That's what you did. All the aggression from Alicia, all the threats pertain to a boxing match, not a street fight.
You and your team's the ones like getting in street fights, like what you did at the weigh-in for the Franchon Cruz rematch. That's your MO, not hers.
Your team's the ones like getting in street fights, like the melee at the Ivana Habazin fight where an elderly man was punched in the back of the head by your little brother.
She continued, I stand on integrity and I stand on what I've built. I'm a champion. I carry that everywhere I go, not just in titles, but in how I move, what I protect, and what I refuse to accept. I fought too hard and come too far to let anyone rewrite my story or define my character. Any further false allegations or defamation of character will be handled accordingly by my legal team.
Sing it to the choir, sister. You've been threatening to sue people for years, and as of yet, you ain't taken nobody to court for this supposed defamation because it's not defamation, it's on video. You struck the first blow.
It wasn't your health and well-being that was in jeopardy on Saturday night when you made a conscious decision to go to an MVP show, and not just the show, you made a decision to go to their after party.
So you want to party with people you don't even like?
You ran down on Alicia Baumgartner. Nobody believes it was her that walked over to you and started this. We know how you move.
You walked over to her, looked for some excuse to get into an argument so that afterwards you can siphon all that attention to yourself.
Because for her, that's what it's all about. In between fights, as she fades into the background and isn't talked about, this is her way of catapulting herself into the headlines.
Into the spotlight.
When they published the numbers for the Taylor versus Serrano rematch, the first thing she does is DM recording artist Cameron Giles to poo-poo on the numbers.
To make it about herself.
Just to end up getting into a verbal dispute with him over those numbers to make that situation and that news all about herself.
So we've seen her do this enough times that it doesn't fool anybody. These idle threats about legal action and defamation, you're the one that's been defaming MVP from the moment the company was founded, but you're the one who goes out of your way to be at their shows because you're a clout chaser.
A cornball, a corn-pone country broad with delusions of grandeur, constantly making herself out to be the victim for situations that she incites, she creates, as a means to promote herself because Dimitri can't seem to do it for her.
Don't you notice that she gets more attention for her situations outside of the ring than the fights she has inside the ring? Nobody's talking about that Cruz rematch or the Lonnie Daniels fight before it.
And nobody believes that it was Alicia Baumgartner that started this, running down on you when you're the one who's out of place. She's an MVP fighter at an MVP event. What are you?
Clout chasing.
It is in California. California, shit, you can sue for anything in California. Shit, you break into somebody's home in California and shit, trip over a damn shoe, you know what I'm saying, hurt yourself, and then go and sue them. You can do all kind of shit in California. So, like, yeah, it might be a battery charge or some misdemeanor, you know, couple of $1,000s maybe even a little jail. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I understand Timothy Bradley's ambivalence on the subject because while the opportunity is there to sue Claressa Shields for assault and battery, that's what that was.
Pretty much a slam dunk.
The video evidence shows that security was already on site in between Claressa and Alicia, so that if Claressa goes to slap her, it's not because she's defending herself. It's not because she was protecting her health and well-being.
It was a cheap shot.
Because Claressa's a bum bitch.
Fucking loser.
You're not gonna convince people in a court of law that as big as you are, you're the one who was afraid for their health and well-being? The video that's been circulating since this past weekend, the video that's been doing the rounds, doesn't show what led up to that point, but I can almost guarantee you
there's any CCTV footage of that VIP section and who walks over to who really starts this. I can almost promise you what it's gonna show is Claressa walking over to Alicia.
guarantee it.
Claressa using this as yet another opportunity to pat herself on the back and claiming that she's taking the sport of women's boxing to the next level. I don't know how she's doing that by constantly aggrandizing herself, and near as I can tell, MVP has done a lot more in their short time in the boxing space for the women than Claressa ever has.
Now it's time for another installment of what has fast become the most popular segment here on the channel, Ring IQ Hate Mail!
Reacting to my recent coverage of Claressa Shields' uncouth behavior A subscriber who goes by the name Poji Man said, I'm a dark-skinned black man, and I don't condone Clarissa's actions. You are not qualified to speak on colorism.
Why not?
Oh yes, Claressa is clearly jealous of light-skinned women, but please, don't try to speak for other black people.
When the fuck did I try to do that?
I am very comfortable in my own skin, and don't share her views except no one said you did.
It's probably not a good idea to try to gatekeep taboo subjects online to online strangers on the premise of your proximity to those subjects.
Because you're not the subject, and this is not about you, all based on what is your misinterpretation of what I said. Because I didn't say that dark-skinned people are condoning Clarissa's behavior. I said the people condoning her behavior are only doing so because she's the darker girl.
Do you understand how that's not the same thing? That unless you're one of the people defending Claressa Shields' actions, I can't be talking about you, and you say that you don't defend her actions.
So why are you trying to make this about you, and who are you to tell me what I can and can't address on my own channel? Do you pay any bills around here?
Is there some sort of class that I am intended to take in order to be qualified to speak on this subject? Is it like a commercial driver's license, where I have to pay a fee, then take a test, and run it by you first?
Check this guy out.
It takes a lot of ego to dictate to a complete stranger online what they are allowed to and not allowed to speak on when you ain't the boss of nobody. You don't pay no bills around here, these faux Farrakhan's.
Spare me.
Is this all supposed to be off limits due to its proximity to you? Who are you?
He's a guy saying you're right. He's actually agreeing with what you said.
But apparently throwing a tantrum because I'm the one that said it, when what I said isn't any less valid or true because I'm the one that said it. You just don't want to hear it.
Not for me.
But then don't come here. The same way that Claressa Shields made a conscious decision to attend an MVP event on Saturday is the same way you made one to come to this channel, because I didn't go knocking on your door and telling you to watch my video. You came here.
You're a guest, not a tenant. You don't dictate to me what I can and can't talk about. The same way I can address the geopolitics of a country halfway around the world is the same way I can address an issue that is more close to home. And if that makes you uncomfortable, tough titty.
So what?
So fucking what? For too long on the internet, there have been those out there, those faux Farrakhan's, that think they can tell me and you what we're allowed to think and what we're allowed to say. That's not how freedom of speech works, in case you forgot where you are.
Perhaps you've relied on too much of the white guilt of others to have things your way, but here's a newsflash. I ain't white.
And I don't feel guilty about nothing.
Too many blue-haired, fat, white liberal women have made a section of the community think they can dictate what does and doesn't get said.
White guilt.
That certain subjects are too taboo and off limits.
Stick your head in the sand if it bothers you. You're acknowledging that what I said was true. You're just bitching that I'm the one that said it. Then what you can do is stick both index fingers in both your ears and you thumb up your ass.
How's he gonna manage that?
I don't know. Let him figure it out. That's his fucking problem. It's taken far too long for too many people within the boxing space to acknowledge Claressa Shields' uncouth behavior and what is under it, whether it's the beef with Layla or the beef with Alicia.
She's got a complex that makes her harbor a rancor for light-skinned and peanut butter-colored women.
She doesn't feel as pretty as they do.
It is a complex that she harbors because she's darker, and that's not saying that all light-skinned women are better looking than all dark-skinned women.
They're not.
Beauty varies from person to person, complexion to complexion, but the nature of Claressa Shields' complex has everything to do with her complexion. She's an ugly woman.
But not because she's dark.
Kelly Rowland is a dark-skinned woman, and she's fucking gorgeous. Claressa's ugly because she's ugly. Fuck ugly, and she likes to cover that up by hiding behind other people, by trying to make it a race issue or a colorism issue, when it's a you issue. It's not about all these other people. It's about you.
Ugly inside and out.
And whenever she gets around these lighter women, that complex tends to come out, those insecurities, which is what you acknowledge. It isn't any less true because it came from me.
Sometimes what it takes is for a guy like me to be the one to say it, because so many other people won't.
She has an inferiority complex, gross insecurities that cause her to lash out at the world. light-skinned women in particular. Just calling a spade a spade.
In men's heavyweight news, Derek Chisora threatens to flip table in recent fiery clash with Simon Jordan.
Derek Chisora didn't take kindly to Simon Jordan's take on his latest plan to fight again. Chisora was believed to be retired after 50 professional fights as he succumbed to defeat by split decision in what was his recent outing against Deontay Wilder. But as has happened often in recent months, War Chisora decided to go against his word and snub his previous plans to hang up the gloves. The British veteran now wants to seek revenge against Wilder and believes his rival wants the same thing, with talks underway. A growing chorus from the boxing world do not want to see the fan favorite put at risk in the ring again, but he has remained defiant and wants to try his luck again at the Bronze Bomber. When discussing his latest U-turn on the latest episode of Talk Boxing with host Simon Jordan,
things quickly turned sour.
Jordan suggested that Chisora was going against his own word immediately. The veteran's response began with, "Am I saying I'm retired? Yes, but I can come out of retirement. Yes, I can. Why are you moaning?" It was a quick reply from the host, who then pointed out, "Will you come out of retirement? So then you're not retired then." Chisora then got fired up and went on a rant aimed at Jordan. He said, "Listen, you didn't call me here to put it on me. I can just flip tables easily. Don't try all this bullshit. Don't try that with me. You are trying to mug me off. I'll make everybody pay for this. I don't give a fuck. Don't try and mug me off. I fucking know where you live." It was then a laughter that broke out as Chisora's tension simmered down. Jordan then pressed Chisora on why he is keen to step in with the American again. He said, "I feel like both sides were undone by boxing that day."
Jordan is no stranger to pissing off pugilists. Not that long ago, he pissed off Deontay. Now he pissed off Derek.
First of all, my trainer jumped in the ring. I got pushed out of the ring and they gave me a count twice. I also kept saying to the referee that I couldn't see from whatever was on his body going in my eye, but he wants the rematch.
So here's the thing. It's Derek Chisora's prerogative as a professional fighter to keep fighting. He can do that if he wants to. He can retire and unretire as many times as he likes. But where there might be cause for criticism from Simon Jordan and other people is that every fight now is supposed to be Derek's last. That's been the selling point for his last 3 fights.
The Joe Joyce fight, the Otto Valine fight, what became the Deontay Wilder fight, now the Deontay Wilder rematch. It's a little bit deceptive to keep billing your fights.
They've all been supposed to be his swan songs, the last opportunity to see Del Boy in action. But when you do that repeatedly, it is deceptive to the paying public, if that's why they're coming out
for what's supposed to be his retirement. Now, as long as there's a British boxing public that's still willing to pay to see Derek fight, then more power to him. But I don't know how much of that audience remains based on how he looked in his last fight. He looked slow and ineffective, a step behind.
I mean, Wilder's pretty shot to shit himself, and Derek was a step behind him. So does anybody actually want to see a second fight? See a rematch.
I was okay with the first one. It made a little bit of sense. Now what I think makes sense for Deontay Wilder is maybe a Dillian Whyte showdown, another one of his British rivals.
I don't want to see him fight Derek again.
The first fight was fun, and I was okay with it, but it doesn't need a sequel. It is Derek's prerogative as a fighter to keep fighting if he wants to, like it's my prerogative as a customer to not want to see a rematch.